My name is Cliff Hodges, and I own an outdoor school and guide service called Adventure Out in Santa Cruz, California. I started studying native stone tools and native hunting techniques about 10 years ago, and for me the most interesting part is the connection it gives me to my food source, as well as the history of hunting that mankind has been doing for hundreds of thousands of years.
And I'm taking pictures, so can I call you back?
So a piece that starts out like this slowly gets reduced by thinning and shaping to becoming a piece like this that we refer to as a biface. So a biface is something that's been thinned out and starts to have the rough shape of our final piece, but still has a decent amount of work to go. That biface is then further reduced with both percussion as well as pressure flaking to become a finished piece that is going to be usable as a spear point, arrowhead. I only know of a couple dozen people that still hunt large game with all self-made stone and wooden tools in North America. I'm working a piece of flint that's getting close to being an arrowhead. It's much smaller now, it's not going to handle the rough percussion, and I'm going to start pressure flaking it to take off real fine controlled flakes and shape it into a final. So I keep thinning and shaping this piece until eventually it gets down to a finely crafted arrowhead that's ready for arrow production. So we're in the final stages of arrow production here. We have a finished shaft and a finished point. Our shaft is out of hazel, local here to Northern California, and the point is out of novaculite flint. First we're going to glue the point into the shaft with a mixture of pine pitch and eggshell. This is pine pitch that was collected up in the Sierra Nevada mountains from ponderosa pine. That's already mixed with eggshell. Once the point is glued in with that cement mixture, we're going to wrap it with some sinew. Right here is some elk sinew from Montana. And we'll wet the sinew, wrap it around the arrow to bind the point in, and then fasten it with hide glue. This is a California native black bear that I killed about 3 years ago in far northern California near Shasta. I was up in a tree stand, about 8 to 10 feet up in a tree, and I'd been out in the stand since about 4 or 5 in the morning. And this guy came around at about 10 a.m. Turned and came to full draw, and right as I finished my turn and came to full draw, I released the arrow. His arm was up, I slid it right underneath the shoulder blade through both lungs, and it was a pretty quick, clean kill. It's a record-sized black bear. Very large skull, which is how they measure the trophy size on a bear. And as far as I know, it's the first bear killed in California with a stone point in over 100 years. We're on a private parcel of about 250 acres here in the Santa Cruz Mountains. The landowners have given us access to hunt here. There's all kinds of wildlife. We've already seen signs of deer, wild pig, wild cats. So we've got a lot out there to go look at, and we're going to get out there today and check it out. So right here we have some classic pig sign. This is where the pigs are digging and rooting, looking for things to eat, mushrooms, especially this time of year with all this sun right after some big rains. Well, the day's over. We didn't get any shots off, but we definitely had a great time poking around this property. The thing with primitive hunting is we really only release arrows probably 1 out of every 10 to 20 times we go hunting. The key to being a successful primitive hunter is really knowing your land, knowing the animal patterns, their behavior, when and where they move, and that takes a lot of time, a lot of study put in to learn that exact property. So we've got a lot of promising leads here. We're going to keep coming back and definitely have success at some point.